Am I the a-hole for canceling the wedding because my fiance made a secret deal with my dad?
What the heck does that mean?
We'll find out.
What in heavens?
I, 28 female, was supposed to get married 2 months ago to my fiance, 30 male. We had been together for 5 years. He proposed during a vacation in Santorini, and it felt like the most perfect moment of my life. I truly believed I found my person. Planning the wedding was stressful, but exciting. I come from a well-off family, and my dad had offered to pay for a large portion of it. He's always been a bit controlling, especially when it comes to money. He used to tell me growing up that I needed to protect myself financially, especially in relationships. I thought it was just fatherly advice. Sometimes it bordered on paranoid, but I chalked it up to him having seen some ugly divorces in his line of work. He's a lawyer. Okay. Yeah. I can kind of see where he's coming from. 2 weeks before the wedding, my dad and I were having lunch, and we were going over some final guest list stuff when he asked me something that completely blindsided me. I don't remember his exact words, but it was something like, "At least now I know he signed the prenup. Money well spent." I literally paused mid-bite. I asked him what he meant, and he brushed it off. Then he said he offered my fiance a significant sum of money to sign a prenup he drafted months ago.
What? Yo.
Not a mutual prenup, not something we created together. Something he wrote himself behind my back, and my fiance agreed to it.
Oh my gosh. Like, I mean, there's a lot to unpack here. Like, who's in the wrong? Continue.
I went home that night and confronted my fiance. At first, he looked like a deer in headlights. Then he admitted it. Yes, my dad approached him with a prenup. Yes, he signed it. And yes, he accepted the money.
How much was it?
I don't know. I'm curious. Probably a lot.
To do that? Like, do you think over 10 G's?
Maybe the dad was like trying to prove, oh, see, I was right. See, he's only with you for the money. You need to protect yourself.
Oh, God. There's so much to unpack here. Keep going.
Okay, so his reasoning, he didn't want to stress me out. He said my dad was being intense and he just wanted to keep the peace. He claimed he was always planning to tell me, eventually. He just didn't know how. The part that hurt the most wasn't even the prenup. Honestly, I understand the value of one, especially with the wealth imbalance between me and my fiance. I would have been totally fine discussing it openly. What broke me was the secrecy. The fact that two of the most important men in my life made a deal about my future without me. The fact that money was exchanged like my marriage was some business arrangement. I felt like I was being handled, not respected. I called off the wedding the next day.
Wow.
This is really bad. I honestly feel the dad is horrible, but so is the fiance. Like, that's so messed up. Your only response to that should have been, no, I'm not doing that. I need to involve her, regardless of keeping the peace.
Dude, I'm like kind of speechless right now.
Or here's another thing, signing the prenup and not accepting the money.
Or being like, I'm going to deal with this with my fiance.
Yeah, that too. But the fact that he accepted the money tells you something, right?
Maybe her dad is like really intense.
He's not holding a gun to your head. I definitely think that your dad was trying to test your fiance and your fiance failed that test. And the fact that he can't see that is kind of weird. It wasn't a dramatic scene. I told him I couldn't get into a marriage with that kind of breach of trust hanging over us. He begged me to reconsider. He said it was a stupid mistake, that he did it for me, but he didn't want to start our life together with conflict. He said we could rip up the prenup, but the damage was done. He made a life-altering financial decision about our marriage without even consulting me, and the only reason I found out was because my dad accidentally let it slip. Since then, everyone has had an opinion. My mom thinks I overreacted, says I'm throwing away a great relationship over a technicality. My friends are split, some saying I dodged a bullet, others think I'm being cold. Who caused all this is now acting like he was the victim and said he was just trying to protect me. My ex has been texting and calling nonstop saying he wants to make things right. I miss him. I still love him, but I can't shake the feeling that if he hid this from me before the wedding, what else would he be willing to hide in the future? So, am I the a-hole for calling the whole thing off? I think at the very least, you need time.
Yeah. Take all the time in the world.
Yeah.
Let your dad eat all that deposits that he made on the wedding if he's paying for a big chunk of it. Like, that guy.
Yeah, that guy.
Like, just why don't you say something? Or why don't you just not accept the money? I think it's a lose-lose for that kid anyways.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. Because if he doesn't take the money in the prenup, then you know that that guy is going to be in his daughter's ear. He's going to like get in the way, make things really difficult for him. And then if he does, then at least he has an ally with the father, but now his relationship's kind of messed up and there's like a bit of secrecy.
I don't think the dad wanted her to marry this guy. He conveniently let it slip. Now he's playing protective father. her.
Yeah.
The dad told his daughter that your fiance accepted money from me and signed a prenup. He just told her, by the way, your fiance is a piece of shit.
Yeah, or maybe it was just like he wanted some validation for like what he thought was right. Maybe it's not that he thought your fiance was shit. Maybe it was more like, see how good of a dad I am? See how smart I am? Maybe it's an ego thing.
Her dad is an experienced attorney. He knew exactly what he was doing. OP should be concerned with how manipulative and conniving he is. Plus, she did the right thing, dropping the fiance. He broke trust. Yeah, I think that the right thing to do, regardless of whether or not you're being pressured, would have been to say no and tell your fiance. Not to take the money because you felt like, oh no, like, keep the peace.
I think that as intimidating as the dad was, it would have been a lose-lose, right? Like, you said yes, so he maybe respected you in the moment, but then you would have lost respect. Whereas like if you said no to him, then maybe you wouldn't have had his respect in the beginning, but over time you would have gained his respect. So like imagine like a scary in-law with like a lot of power who's a lawyer and you're not like used to that kind of dynamic because you just want to please, right? Like when you see your parent-in-laws, like when I see your parents, I just want to like do anything to please them. When you see my parents, you hate them. No, I'm just kidding.
I do not. So some people are saying that it's fake. OP's in the comments saying it's real. I'll leave it up to you. It could have been something to do with like maybe she has a trust in her name.
Yeah, but she would have still had to sign off.
Power of attorney or something. If we have any lawyers watching, let me know. I don't think you're in the wrong here. I think that you are surrounded by not so great men in your life. And I don't blame you for calling off the wedding. I think at the very, very least, you need time to sort of figure out what happened. I wouldn't blame you if you chose not to marry this guy because like he got bought off.
I'm claiming you. You're coming up to the clouds with me. I don't think you're an a-hole. I think you did what was right for you. You were manipulated by 2 men in your life. Okay? So come on up here. Let's have a cup of joe. Maybe a little cookie.
Am I the a-hole for trying to dance with my daughter at her wedding? So my daughter, who we'll call Jane, 28 female, and I have always had a rocky relationship. I wasn't the greatest father and recognize that now, but I've changed. I know everyone talks crap on religion-based treatments, but I know I'm safe now and no one can tell me different. I was in a car accident when I lost a lot of feeling in my legs. After that, I swear I was reborn as a new man and I promised I would do better, but after everyone's reactions, I'm starting to feel like maybe I did do something wrong. My daughter's wedding was this past weekend and she had her brother walk her down the aisle. Ooh.
It's a slap in the face.
That's a bit of a slap in the face, but my question is like, what did he do?
What did you do?
Which I was fine with because I mean, I wasn't really there for her as a kid, so why would I give her away? I found out from my wife, her mom. Oh, okay, so you're still with the wife?
Maybe, or maybe ex-wife?
That she planned on having a father-daughter dance at her reception, but have her father-in-law dance with her instead of me. I figured she didn't ask me because while I can walk, I can't walk far and I'm super unbalanced. So with the help of my wife, I worked on strengthening my legs in secret so I could surprise her at her wedding and dance with her. Fast forward to the reception and they announce it's time for the dance. I roll my wheelchair to the edge of the group, circling her, stand up, and start walking toward her. Everyone in the room started talking and clapping around me as I made my way across the dance floor, and honestly, I was feeling really good about this until I made it 6 feet away from her. She started shaking her head and frowning at me, but I kept walking anyway. She started shouting no and telling me to sit down, but I couldn't believe that she was saying this, so I shouted back that I was coming to dance with her as her father. She acted all irritated and said she'd dance with me later, but now it's father-in-law's turn. Yeah, there definitely should have been some sort of discussion. I understand him wanting to surprise her, but it's clear that she made a choice to have her father-in-law dance with her. And there was no discussion with the father-in-law. There was no discussion with her. I feel like you must have done something really bad. I couldn't accept that, so I got closer and reached out for her hand, hoping she'd recognize I was doing this for her. When father-in-law reached out and blocked me from her by putting his hand on my chest. Okay, yeah, so she told you no, and you still went through with it. So this is where I might have messed up. I told him to back the F up and F off. Our argument got pretty heated before some people stepped in and separated us. Oh, absolutely not. No, no, no. You made this wedding about you. She told me to leave and I said, if that's what you really want. And she said yes, so I did. I'm really struggling with this because I got a lot of dirty looks and even my son yelled at me. He said it was really selfish of me to try to dance with her at all. And I'm trying to do better and listen to my kids, so maybe you can all tell me, am I the a-hole?
We need more context. You're really just saying that like you did this journey to do all this stuff to you, but like what did you do to your kids?
I mean, he's not really elaborating. He says that he wasn't there for her growing up. So I don't really know what that means.
I mean, the fact that he's not saying much about that and he's talking about his journey to recovery means that he's hiding something substantial.
He is. He's hiding something specific.
I don't like this. I don't like this at all.
I personally believe that the reason why he's not saying exactly what happened is it is bad.
But like, I'm not going to discredit like the fact that you were in an accident and like able to rehab so that you could walk. That's like really amazing.
I think that there could have been an opportunity for you later in the wedding to do that, to, you know, stand up and walk over to your daughter, ask her to dance like later in the wedding. You're putting her on the spot and it's a little embarrassing. And I think that any good intentions were kind of, I don't know, they're just not as visible because it just sort of seems like you're trying to take that moment for yourself. And also the fact that you're like her father-in-law also had to step in, like something tells me something really bad happened. I'm just saying. You don't spring stuff on a bride on her wedding day. All the wedding activities are planned out very carefully and no one gets to butt in and change things. Her and her father-in-law probably spent some time picking out a song that meant something to their relationship. We actually did this. We picked songs that meant something to, you know, our parents.
Yeah.
It would have been weird. And also, like, some people practice dancing as well, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you practice dancing with your spouse or your dad or whatever, like at rehearsal dinners and stuff. I agree. You definitely don't spring stuff on a bride.
And also, like, if you don't have a good relationship with her, I get the idea of wanting to do a grand gesture to maybe get her forgiveness, but like, I don't think that was the right time.
If you wanted to surprise her, then dancing with her later on in the night. If you wanted to dance with her, like for the father-daughter dance, you should have talked to her first. You're the a-hole. You're making the assumption a lot of religious converts make. Just because you said sorry to Jesus doesn't mean the hurt you caused other people goes away. You aren't owed forgiveness. She didn't want to dance with you. You tried to force her and cause the scene. Just because you're like a born-again Christian and you found God, have you mended the relationships?
I mean, it all opened with like forgiveness and about all this stuff, but what are we forgiving you for? Like, you're a born again Christian, like why you were in an accident. I get that journey. Like, that's very admirable that you were able to recover to the point of standing up and all that stuff. Like, that's amazing. But like, what the hell happened? Because that's what it's really about.
Yeah. I mean, OP does not say anything. They just updated the post by saying, okay, I'm the a-hole. I clearly have my work cut out for me. I think I'll apologize to her, but I don't know what's the best way. I think she has me blocked now, and I know she's threatening to block her mom. She's so upset that our relationship is a mess. I'm between calling my son and asking him to set up some kind of meeting or going by her place and hoping she'll hear me out. I don't want to risk my wife asking and getting in more crap because of this. Okay, so to me, I think that in this instance, you're absolutely
the devil.
You are the a-hole. If you hope to have a relationship with your daughter, then you do need to figure out a way to apologize that isn't so like pushy. Give her a little bit of time because things are heated right now. You kind of like almost caused a fight at her wedding, so she's going to be mad for a bit. I think that you need to not only apologize for the wedding, but probably apologize for why you were not chosen for the father-daughter dance in the first place and all the things that include that. So
come on, hang out with me.
Yeah, you can't come with me until you confront your feelings and confront the things you've been doing.
I got a fiery hot poker with your name on it. Am I the a-hole for asking for my dead sister's ring back after my brother used it to propose? My sister died when I was like 6 and she was 17. We weren't super close or anything, but I still remember little bits of her. Her laugh, how she always painted her nails, her posters. She was like this perfect angel to my mom after she passed. I barely remember the funeral. When I was like 12, I found this old ring in her stuff. Nothing fancy, just a silver ring with a small stone. It fit me and I don't know why, but I kept it. It wasn't some big dramatic thing. I didn't steal it or anything. I just took it and started keeping it. I didn't wear it loads or flaunt it. I just had it in this little box and sometimes I'd look at it when I missed her. It kind of became this one thing that felt like mine, like my piece of her. So anyway, last weekend we had this family lunch and my brother, 27 male, brings his girlfriend who everyone knew he was going to propose to. And yeah, he stands up, does the big speech and pulls out the ring, my sister's ring, the one I've kept for like 7 years. I literally froze. His girlfriend starts crying. People are clapping. I'm just sat there like, WTF. I look at my mom and she smiles like nothing happened. After dinner, I ask her, was that the ring? And she's like, yeah, your brother asked me and dad and we said it was fine. She said it was sweet and symbolic and my sister would have wanted it passed down or whatever. And I was like, It was never yours to give. I've had it for years. And she goes, oh, come on, it's just a ring. Don't be dramatic. But like when I had it, it wasn't just a ring. So yeah, I kind of snapped. I waited until people were outside and told my brother I wanted it back. He laughed at first and was like, no, WTF. And I said, okay, well then I'll tell your girlfriend where it came from and let her decide. He got mad and said I was ruining his proposal and making it about me like always. My mom dragged me into the kitchen and saying everyone noticed I wasn't happy and that I left halfway through dinner because, yeah, I was crying in the bathroom. Dad tried to calm down, but my brother kept going on about how selfish I was and that I'd been weird about my sister for years. I didn't even say anything. I just left early and haven't spoken to any of them since. My mom rang me yesterday and asked me if I've calmed down and am I ready to say sorry? And I said, not really. And she hung up. My cousin texted me later saying it was actually super messed up and she doesn't blame me, but I don't know. I probably could have handled it better, but I just felt so blindsided. It's not even about the stupid ring. It's just like they acted like it didn't matter to me, like I didn't matter. So yeah, am I the a-hole? Okay, so I did have a thought. I think that she is valid for feeling like this was her ring, right? That she wanted to have a little piece of her sister. But she didn't really give her brother the opportunity to also want the ring. You know what I mean? Like she kind of found it and she just kind of took it. Like maybe her brother had a better relationship with his sister. Maybe he would have wanted the ring. I just feel like, yes, it's her ring. And yes, her brother went behind her back and like took the ring.
Why don't you just ask?
He could have asked her. He genuinely could have. I am kind of leaning toward everybody sucks here. Just saying. Brother really sucks for taking the ring without asking his sister. But I sort of feel like maybe there could have been an opportunity to like be like, oh, I found this ring. Is it okay if I have it? She just kind of took it, you know? Both of them kind of just took it.
I feel like if her parents knew that she had the ring, they must have known like all this time. It's not like she just like had it. She was holding it.
She had it.
But like maybe they didn't know how much it meant to her over the years. Like she would just like look at it and remind her. I mean, you even said that like you weren't even that close with her. I mean, at least this person is being like honest about all the details. It's not like we were like best friends, but like it did mean something to me over the years. You know, it's kind of a weird situation. I don't like how she made a big deal.
I genuinely do think that you were probably blindsided, and that's fair. But like, I feel like this is a discussion that you could have had after the proposal. Like, yes, you waited for everyone to go outside, but you ruined this moment. And, you know, I feel like this is something that could have been handled a bit better. So a lot of people are actually saying not the a-hole. I particularly like manipulation of how it's just a ring when you are upset about it, but when you ask for it back, suddenly it's not just a ring and you're being selfish and making everything about you. From what you say, it seems pretty clear they knew you wore the ring and had an attachment to it. She was your sister too. Your loss and your grief are valid. They should have asked you if you were okay with the ring before giving it to someone else first. No, I agree. Everybody should have asked. Everybody could have handled this whole situation better. So they had the balls to take it out of your room, your box, not tell you about it, and you are the dramatic one. They are thieves, not the a-hole, and I would tell the girlfriend ASAP. Everybody's like, you know, rushing to this whole, oh, they stole it, she stole it. It's like, okay, but at the same time, also wasn't necessarily her ring.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it was her sister's ring, and there was no discussion of who would get it or whatever. She found it, and she took it. They are all... It was in your possession for years. They didn't have the balls to tell you. They blindsided you. They talk crap about you loving and missing your sister like you were being creepy. You have the right to feel the way you do. It seems like for once we actually don't agree with what like Reddit says. I genuinely feel like this could have been handled better by everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
It sort of seems like everybody's kind of on the not the a-hole side. I still think that this could have been handled better. So I'm going to say everybody sucks.
Well, everyone's going to go down to purgatory until they talk this out, okay?
Yeah, everybody needs to just like have a little chat and work it out. And listen, it's okay. You can be a butthead. Everybody can be a butthead from time and time again. But just like communicate, you know? Like just talk it out.
So like, I guess if they're all going to purgatory, that means like you have a night off. What are you up to later?
Am I the a-hole for punishing my daughter for not coming to my wedding? Ooh, we got another father-daughter drama. I got married last weekend in my parents' house, which has been in the family for generations. For health reasons, only immediate family was there. My daughter, 16 female, had been calling her new stepmom, 21 female, names like homewrecker and prostitute. And I have been patient with her. She assumes I left her late mother because she had breast cancer. However, I did not leave her mother for having cancer. Nobody decides to have cancer. Her late mother kept using her illness to devalue me and my sense of identity. She criticized the way I was taking care of her and even stuff like my hygiene or the cologne I was wearing. She made me feel worthless, and I felt like she was projecting her own insecurities by saying the smell of my cologne was disgusting because she never made an effort to keep herself up, and despite the fact that I objectively found her disgusting sometimes.
Oh, God.
I stuck by her until my self-esteem was destroyed. I would work hard, closing deals all day, and be acknowledged for my efforts at work, yet I'd go home and she would criticize and nag every ounce of my being. I met her stepmom when I was in a dark place. She made me feel like I could be myself again. My wife made me feel unattractive and not very cute with my new wife. I felt alive. Just the fact that she appreciated me and felt physical chemistry with me made me want to do anything for her, to want to provide for her. That's when I decided not to BS my wife anymore and file for divorce. Okay, so you did have an affair. Since then, my daughter's relatives from her mom's side have been poisoning her against me. I mean, you did have an affair, so. Last week, when I and her stepmom went to the site of the wedding early, we expected to see her drive to the wedding later. But instead, she ended up going to stay with her aunt. Everybody asked where she was, and there was chaos from my side of the family locating her. As punishment, I took her car and allowance and have taken her phone away until I feel she can learn to be respectful towards someone I very much love. And that it will be impossible for her to do that if she keeps having to hear from her late mom's side of the family. My parents have called and said I was being too harsh. However, even when things are tough, I feel I cannot let a child of mine believe they can do whatever they want. Am I the a-hole?
Oh man, there's so much to unpack here. We have to look at that as like an isolated incident. We can't like let all the history percolate into this. I mean, obviously you can kind of go into the weeds about whether or not him leaving his wife who was suffering from breast cancer and going through treatment, which I can only imagine.
Cheating on his wife who was suffering from breast cancer.
So like that makes him seem like a pretty bad guy. So I can see why his daughter would be disgusted with his new wife and him. You're kind of ignoring that fact and you're kind of making it a bit about like, is it wrong for punishing her? You're like,
I punished her for like she can't come to the wedding.
But it's like, wait a second. What about all this other stuff that you just dropped?
Why did she not come to the wedding in the first place, you know? It's interesting how sometimes the people that know that they're in the wrong kind of ask the wrong questions.
They were dating, having an affair while she was still going through treatment. So I can see why the daughter's mad and she has every right to be upset, right? Like in her eyes, he left her mom when she was most vulnerable.
She was dealing with having cancer. She was not necessarily treating OP well. If she was being really mean to him, then honestly, he should have left. Like, I understand leaving someone when they have cancer is hard. Maybe he could have waited until she got better or something. But like, there's no right way to go about it. Like, if you're unhappy in your marriage, like, leave it. Don't cheat.
Yeah, and also like when you're going through chemotherapy, you're nauseous, you have low energy, you're not yourself. That brings out the worst in people.
Maybe that's why she didn't like the smell of the cologne. Maybe before she had cancer, it wasn't bad. And then when she had cancer, it got worse. That's why they say in sickness and in health, right? Because it's like, you know, you really have to be willing to go through the trenches with someone that you're willing to like marry. You're the a-hole. You cheated on her mother. Regardless of the situation, that's all she sees. She doesn't know your marriage problems. All she knows is that you left her mother for another woman. On top of that, you're marrying said woman when your 16-year-old daughter is still trying to deal with her mother's passing. Of course she doesn't want to go. You're the a-hole for not trying to be more understanding of your daughter, for trying to force her and then punishing her. Also, hold the phone. Somehow I completely missed that your new wife is 21. Whoa. Okay, no. His new stepmom, 21 female. Oh my God.
How old's he?
That's T.
And he's got a 16-year-old daughter?
It doesn't say how old he is, but I'm assuming he's a lot older than 21. That makes it so much worse. She's only 5 years older than your daughter. Oh my God. They are close in age and you're still confused about her behavior. Holy cow. I can't even. Wow. Whoa.
Dude, that's weird.
Whoa. Oh wow, poor guy, working like everyone else without the appreciation of his jerky cancer-stricken wife. Your hygiene directly impacts the health of someone with a compromised immune system. But who cares about a compromised immune system when you close deals all day? It must really suck for you that the chemicals killing the cancer in her body changed her sense of smell and her ability to tolerate your cologne. That part. That must have been like super hard for you. You're the a-hole. Give your daughter back her stuff and go get some counseling. Seriously, wow. I do genuinely feel like as he wrote that, he was trying to play the victim. His wife was not telling him that he was disgusting. His wife was telling him that she needs him to be clean because she has a compromised immune system and she cannot stand the smell of his cologne because she's going through chemotherapy. You're the a-hole. This reads like you cheated on your wife while she was dying of cancer and now you're punishing your daughter for having a problem with it. Yeah, you're a big poopy stinky butthole.
You're bung cheddar. You're a little
smell dookie. I smell dookie. It's decided. Come on over here, honey.
You can go.
Another one for the books. Subscribe! Am I wrong for suing my friends after their wedding?
You're gonna look at me and you're gonna tell me that I'm wrong? Am I wrong?
Okay. This story was posted in the Charlotte Dobre YouTube subreddit, and the title is, Am I the a-hole for suing my friends after singing and playing for their entire wedding and not getting paid? I, 30 male, am a lawyer.
And
Okay. If there's one person you don't want to put over, it's a lawyer. I'm just saying. But I'm also very active in music. I sing and I play piano, organ, and guitar. Pretty much any instrument I can get my hands on. I've performed at several weddings, often as a personal favor for close friends. So a while back, my friends Jimmy and Belle asked if I could handle their entire music for their Catholic wedding mass. That meant singing and playing organ through the whole liturgy, processional, offertory, communion, recessional, etc. I agreed, assuming I was being invited as a guest and doing this out of friendship. Ooh. But as the wedding approached, I noticed I hadn't received any kind of invitation, not even to the mass. I asked Belle and she replied,
Oh, we had to trim the guest list. But you can still come early to rehearse and do the music.
Translation, I wasn't invited. I wasn't even treated like a guest. Just free labor. Oh, absolutely not. No. No. Wow, the audacity! Still, I honored the commitment. I arrived early, rehearsed, sang, and played the entire mass alone, packed up, and left. No acknowledgement, no token, no food, no seat, no thank you. Oh my lord. Not even a bite to eat. Some people just really are lacking in class, aren't they? I sent them a professional invoice with a reasonable rate for performing solo for a full wedding mass. Nothing excessive, just what it's worth. They didn't pay it. Ooh, yeah, it's a little sus. Belle ghosted me. Jimmy said he'd talk to me, but nothing happened. I do genuinely feel OP could have said something earlier about the whole, okay, well, if I'm not a guest, then I'm gonna need to charge you for this. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know what should be done, but like, I understand why he's upset, especially after no token, no food, no seat, no thank you. That would piss me off royally. To not even receive a thank you after doing free labor for someone, that is just crazy to me. They ignored follow-ups. After 30 days, I sent a demand letter. Love a demand letter. No response. So I sued them for breach of oral contract and unjust enrichment. Oh, okay. Did we have an oral contract?
the face and eye autofocus. But how do you turn it on?
We had written messages confirming the arrangement. Screenshots of Belle asking me to perform, timing, songs, and expectations. I represented myself. They showed up shocked that I followed through. Guess what? I won.
Don't mess with me, man. I'm a lawyer.
The judge ruled in favor and ordered them to pay the full amount plus court costs. Now our friend group is on fire. Some say I went too far. Others quietly say good for you. Belle's been posting cryptic quotes about betrayal and money over friendship. I mean, if anybody put money over friendship, it's her. Now I'm wondering, am I the a-hole for suing people I once considered friends after they used me for free live music and refused to pay? You gave them multiple chances and they kept ignoring you. You'd actually be surprised how common it is for people to not take you seriously until you get a lawyer involved. They don't really understand the gravity of what they're doing, and maybe they'll just think, you know,
If I ignore them, then maybe they might just give up.
I wouldn't let that slide, and I'm not a lawyer. People are gonna think you're the a-hole, but at the end of the day, you gave them plenty of chances to avoid court, and at this point, it's kind of like around and find out, you know what I'm saying? Not the a-hole. If you were not allowed to attend as a guest, that means you were hired to play. This they pay. It's funny how friendship did not extend to an invite, but now she's saying money over friendship. Bingo. friendship. This friend was not a good enough friend to get an invite to your wedding, but they were a good enough friend to play for your wedding for free without so much as a thank you. If OP was a friend, he would have been a guest. Not a friend, here's the invoice. Lol, pay up, not the a-hole. This would be my response every time. Friends get invited to the wedding, performers are hired and paid, and are supposed to be fed too. That's the other thing, right? For those of you who are going through weddings, even if you hire someone, see if you can find the time to go around and thank your vendors. Whether it be in your speeches or a personal thank you, it really goes a long way to make them feel appreciated. I genuinely feel like the bride and groom really tried to avoid OP as much as possible because they knew what they did was wrong, but they just wanted a free musician. Have a little class. You're saving hundreds of dollars. The least you can do is give this person a plate. Hundreds, if not thousands, honestly. Musicians for weddings are not cheap. As a friend, would you not want to pay a friend for their work? Expecting a friend to do something for you for free is not a friendship. That's like transactional, and like he's not even getting anything out of the relationship at all. So like, where is the plus side for him? So this is an interesting point. This may be an unpopular opinion, but even friends should get paid for services provided unless they've explicitly offered to do it for free, or if you've arranged a contract that their services are being considered a gift. Expecting free from friends always ends poorly. And that is one criticism of OP. Obviously he won in court, so it doesn't really matter, but like the payment thing maybe should have been discussed before the wedding. I doubt that it would have changed anything. It just creates like a little more of a paper trail, you know? And I'm not a lawyer, but
I am.
Are you the a-hole for suing your friends after singing and playing for their entire wedding and not getting paid? Absolutely not. We got some more wedding drama for you. Ooh, deleted. Why are we deleting, guys? Does this mean this was a little saucy? Am I the a-hole for telling the bride I won't be shaving my dog for her ocean-themed wedding tomorrow?
I have so many questions.
I beg your finest pardon. Throw away because my main has my real name and I know the bride stalks. Oh, that's why we deleted the account. So I, 26 female, I'm a bridesmaid in my former best friend Kelsey's 27 female beach wedding. The theme is ocean magic or something like that. Think mermaids, starfish, driftwood, blue ombre gowns, that sort of vibe. I've done everything she asked. I paid for a $300 seafoam green dress that I will never wear again, went to her destination bachelorette in Tulum where we nearly died in a sketchy ATV crash. Don't ask, been there. Bachelorettes in Tulum are like a different beast, I swear. It chews you up and spits you out, that town. And even helped write her vows because her fiance doesn't inspire her creatively. What? Red flag much. If you can't think of like some nice things to say about your fiance, that's kind of crazy, but okay. So the wedding is tomorrow and she just told me I'm not allowed to bring my dog unless I shave her. Why though? Why is that on theme at all? Like a naked mole rat at her wedding? Yes, shave her, as in remove the fur on my miniature dash-end Mercedes because her brown and black coat will ruin the aesthetic in pictures. Apparently, her planner said all pets need to have neutral tones or be groomed to match the sea-themed palette. Get the out of here. Are you kidding me right now?
You kidding me? Are you kidding me?
I've heard of brides having like restrictions on what guests wear, but pets?
So, how's the escape plan coming?
I laughed when I read the message. I thought she was joking. Mercedes has been in my life for 6 years and is basically my child. She has a long silky coat and she's super chill. She was gonna be my date since the wedding is technically pet friendly and I'm not bringing a +1. But Kelsey said, and I quote,
I'm not trying to be a bridezilla, but this is my vision and it's one day. Can you just do it for me? It'll grow back.
Your vision. I can't even imagine having like a weirdly shaved dog at your wedding. Like that is so bizarre. This is a very strange hill to die on. I told her I'm not shaving my dog bald so she can look like a beach rock in the background of her Pinterest photos. That's so bizarre. Like at that point, just why are you allowing pets? This is so dumb. Like I can't. I said if she wants a wedding where even pets needed to color match, maybe she should have just hired models instead of inviting friends. She freaked out, called me unsupportive, and removed me from the bridal group chat. Now the maid of honor says if I show up with Mercedes unshaved, she will kindly ask us to leave. Oh no. Of all the things, you must have a perfect wedding. If you're fixating on little problems like this, honestly, so much comes up. This is not an issue that needs your attention at all. I feel like I've bent over backwards for this wedding, but now some people in our friend group are saying I should have just left the dog at home or compromised and dyed her coat or something. No. This is literally the day before and Mercedes is staying with me in the hotel anyway. So am I the a-hole for refusing to shave my dog for this wedding? Or am I the only sane one left on this barnacle encrusted ship? Quite frankly, this is really stupid. She's grasping at like weird straws. It's a matter of principle at this point. And anyone who doesn't think this is absolutely bat crazy is smoking something that I don't want to be passed to me. I'm good on that. Ugh, don't shave the dog. This is too much, including the self-importance from the maid of honor and the pandering and enabling from the other bridesmaids. You do not want to be friends with people who think this kind of behavior is acceptable, in my opinion. The kind of people who think of animals as accessories. I get serious mean girl vibes off this crew. Soulless, not the a-hole. It's almost like they're looking for a reason to like exclude you or something, or bully you. Like, it's just... I don't see why this is an issue that they're fixating on. Like, this is really weird. I feel like there's something else happening here. Having pets in general for like an ocean themed wedding, unless it's a fish, I don't see why you even want pets at an ocean themed wedding to begin with. People pointing out that shaving a dog is not good for them. They have fur for a reason. It won't grow back the same way. I also agree with that. Like, it's not the same thing as grooming. Some people are saying you could buy Mercedes a little blue sweater if you feel like accommodating. Even that is better than like outright asking an owner to just shave their dog. Be for real right now. Is Bridezilla jealous of OP and her dog? I absolutely would not even want my dog around people like that. Leave her in the room and be done with them after the celebrations are over. These are not her friends. These are the group of girls that keep that one pity friend. OP, cut your losses and peace out of that friendship. That's why I feel like it just seems like they're just going out of their way to make her feel bad for a reason that like really does not affect the wedding at all. I'm just very confused, but we do have an update. The wedding was today, the day that OP made the post. I did not go. Good. And no, Mercedes was not shaved or dyed green or dressed up like Sebastian from The Little Mermaid. Although those comments had me crying laughing. Y'all are evil. I love it. Anyways, after she booted me from the group chat and sent me that wild message about shaving Mercedes, I decided to be petty with Grace. I gave her a wedding gift. Boxed up my $300 bridesmaid's dress, the custom sea glass collar Mercedes was supposed to wear, and a card that just had a smiley face on it and labeled it "For the Blushing Bride." The tea comes courtesy of my friend Leo, one of the groomsmen, who had no idea about the whole dog shaving fiasco until I told him after the ceremony. Apparently, they had no backup flower dog. None. Kelsey had assumed I'd cave and show up with a bald Mercedes like I was bringing a rotisserie chicken in a leash. Oh, okay, so the dog was supposed to be the flower dog. Okay. Kelsey and her now husband even paused the ceremony for a bit, thinking I had run late. But no, I was not running late. Instead, I was driving me and Mercedes back home with the windows down playing Taylor Swift. That's what's up. The groom, who apparently has OCD, got visibly agitated because there were 6 groomsmen and only 5 bridesmaids. The symmetry was off and he was not doing well. Leo said he kept muttering, "This is all wrong," during their photos. I guess they should have thought of that. You thought your aesthetic was messed up? How about now?
How you like them apples?
What a dumb thing to fixate on. Like, it just like actually blows my mind that these people do not have bigger problems than this. You're literally creating problems at this point. Kelsey's mom apparently asked a random toddler from a guest family to walk down the aisle holding seashells to fill the flower roll. The toddler tripped, chaos ensued.
Go!
No one outside the bridal party knew what actually happened, not till this afternoon when I posted a picture of Mercedes in her untouched, unbothered glory on Facebook, along with the screenshots of Kelsey's messages. I tagged her. Wow. The caption?
Mercedes says she's sorry she couldn't ruin your aesthetic. She prefers having fur.
Ooh, messy. How very messy of you. I haven't opened Facebook yet to see any of the replies, and I'm debating whether to also upload this on my Instagram. Anyways, Mercedes and I are currently enjoying a beach of our own with drinks and peace. She's proudly unshaved and wearing her collar like a crown. I wish there was an update, but there's no update. You're the a-hole, OP, because 2 posts and no dog tax paid. I demand to see the baby. We demand to see Mercedes in full furred glory. You cannot tell a story in which a furry cutie is the main character and then withhold the goods.
Right to jail.
You are not the a-hole, OP. I'm glad things turned out okay. I 20 female at the time, accidentally wore a white dress to a wedding, and I definitely got what I deserved. Okay. I mean, I'm looking at the photo and like, yeah, like there's white, but there's also a pattern on it. Okay, let's get into it. 7 years ago, I made the horrifying mistake. I wore a fully white dress with blue accents to my ex-boyfriend's cousin's wedding. Before you come for me, I swear I didn't know the no white at weddings rule. I was 20, deeply naive, and tragically lacking wedding etiquette, like truly dumb and clueless. I thought it looked cute and wedding appropriate. I did not think I was making a power move or being disrespectful. But the bride, oh, she clocked it immediately. After the ceremony, as she was walking back down the aisle with her new husband, literally mid-smile and celebration, looked me dead in the eye and said,
Oh, you wanted to be the bride today.
okay, no, that's kind of... She took time out of like her walking down the aisle to say that to you. And that was just the beginning. All night, her bridesmaids came up to me with the most polite yet devastatingly pointed compliments. You know, the kind,
Wow, you're so brave to wear that.
and
I could never pull off something like that to someone else's wedding. Such a bold choice.
I didn't even realize at the time why everyone was being so weird. I got super anxious, felt totally out of place, and ended up crying outside the reception at one point. It wasn't until years later, thank you so much, Charlotte, that I realized, oh, I really messed up and was completely horrified. Since then, I've sincerely apologized and have never made the same mistake again. But I wanted to show y'all the dress and ask, was the dragging justified or was it unneeded wedding drama for them? See, this is the thing about like outright bullying people who wore, this is not what I would call a white dress. I just don't agree that this constitutes a white dress. Like, I think it's a pattern dress with white in it, but you would never confuse this girl for the bride. Like, that's the issue with white dresses, right? Like, you're kind of pulling focus. There's always a very clear reason why someone wears white. It's like, you know, the sister-in-law or the ex-best friend or the mother-in-law that's trying to steal the shine. If someone is wearing a dress with white in it, there always could be the thought that they could have asked the bride's permission. They could really not know the rule. I think that outright bullying people without like knowing for sure is a little classless.
You're being a dick.
Let people look dumb. If that was her intent, which it wasn't, let them look dumb. Yes, I know it's a rule, but there's a gray area there. And like, unless we know that the intent was malicious, I don't think it's fair to like bully people. I know at my wedding, I know I keep bringing it up, but now I actually have a reference point. How are you not just like in total bliss and like not paying attention and like paying attention to your husband and enjoying your day? This is such a small problem. She like cried after. I don't know. I just really feel like that was unnecessary. Let's see what other people said in the comments. I would have had no issue if you wore this to my wedding. It's a print dress, not a white dress, nor is it remotely bridal. I'm sorry you were treated so poorly. Okay, so I feel like we're kind of on the same page. To me, this is like a white and blue dress, but this is not like a white bridal dress. Exactly. Only petty people get upset about a print dress at a wedding. If you wore a fully white silk, satin, or cotton lace dress, you'd have been out of wedding etiquette. Here's the thing about etiquette though. It's a guide for polite behavior, not something to humiliate a person who doesn't have a clue what is going on. And furthermore, you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. It could be cultural. If someone wore like a printed white dress, it's a very common thing in Italy to wear white dresses with print to weddings. Those are wedding appropriate. The guest could have asked the bride. The guest could have literally no idea. If someone wears an outfit to an event to upstage or upset people, then they should be called out and possibly embarrassed. That's the thing. Like, she doesn't even know the bride well, so I don't really see how this could have been something to personally offend her. Too many people think that their wedding entitles them to behave like a spoiled child who doesn't have any manners. A lot of people in the comments agree that this isn't what constitutes a white dress. I just don't like how ridiculous the whole wedding standards are being pushed more and more. Yes, don't wear white, but now you can't wear a cute printed summer dress. This is the thing. Like, summer dresses almost always are like, they're white with like flowers on them or like cute little prints. I just genuinely don't feel like the bullying was justified. I don't think that you did anything to like overtly draw attention to yourself. I think that you just didn't know. And like, I actually don't agree that their reaction was justified at all. That's super weird. Mean girl behavior. I know I talk about the white dresses a lot and stuff like that, but like, I feel like people use it as an excuse to like overtly go and comment on things and like all the rules that I've come up with or whatever that I've like the social etiquette that comes with weddings. And it's like, I'm not saying that you should go and like bully people that like don't know the right thing to do, that like could have had a dress approved by the bride. It could be cultural. Like, I feel like people really kind of take the wedding etiquette thing a little bit too far. It's kind of up to the bride, but like a good friend of mine wanted to wear a very similar dress as this. And she's just like, I know it's like, there's white in it. And I'm like, girl, there's like, that's not a white dress. Relax.
You know what it never was? That serious. It was never that serious.
But I'm chill, you know what I mean? Like, I'm chill. Some brides are like not okay with it. It is what it is, whatever. But like, it's a summer dress. It has blue in it. I wouldn't say that this is like, okay, she's overtly trying to upstage the bride. Brides, the website said, is it ever acceptable to wear white to a wedding? Historically, Western tradition dictates that guests should avoid wearing white to a big couple's day. And while the rule still stands, it can be confusing to know how far it extends. For example, can you wear a printed white dress or jumpsuit? Or is any glimmer of the neutral hue completely unacceptable? Generally, it's best to stay away from outfits that feature the color, including a pattern gown.
Wrong! That's wrong!
So many brides are incorporating color into their wedding wardrobes now, so you wouldn't want to show up in something similar to the bride. If the bride's also wearing color, you're not allowed to wear whatever the color of the bride is wearing? Like, what the So yeah, this website said, can you wear a printed white dress to a wedding? An etiquette expert called Diane Gottsman said, no, it's not acceptable. I don't know, man. Err on the side of caution and avoid it. You could ask the bride. I think she looks great. I think she put effort into herself and she looked beautiful. I've been to like so many weddings, and the amount of men that wear like white suits, the amount of patterns that I see, like people wearing like white feathers and white bags and like print dresses with white in them. I just don't really see it as a big deal, especially if they've asked the bride's permission. Anyways, that's just me. Do I think that it's nuanced? Yes. Do I think that this person deserved to be bullied for what she wore to this wedding? No, I don't. Sis guy.